Yep. Yeah, we got to talk about this one. All right. Don't be mad at me because I ain't mad. I'm just tell you right now. Boss is not mad. I feel good. I still feel good. I'm not even tripping. Good game. I want to see what I saw. I saw Cowboys football. Obviously, we're going to be able to evaluate this game. We're going to talk about it. And we go, go through all the pros and cons, man. Because obviously with some pros, but then with some cons. But we going to start, we got the call lines. I got all that fixed, man. So y'all come on and have a seat. I know y'all mad. I'm mad too. But I'm also cool. I promise you I'm chilling. You got time to be tripping. This is a part of greatness and I accept it. Let's keep moving. Them boys fought hard. I saw what I need to see. And I'm happy with what I saw. Can't wait to talk about it with the family. So, y'all stay with us, man. We setting up everything on the back end. Yeah, man. Yup. Yeah, can't wait to take the calls. We got the calls back. Yep. Yes, indeed. Another one. So, yeah. I can't wait to hear from the Cowboy fans today, man. Can't wait to hear from all the people, man. And see y'all thoughts on this game. Pretty sure it's going to be all over the place today. Both good and bad. But I see a lot of good, though, man. I'm so encouraged right now. I really am, bro. Ooh, they coming in hot. Man. Let's go ahead and start getting to the comments, man. I already see it. Let's start showing it. My boy said, dang, that hurt. But way to fight at the end. Yup, that's what I'm happy with, Dale. I'm happy with that. JC said, bullshit ref calls. Yeah, it was some suspect calls, bro. It was some suspect calls. I don't know if I really want to focus on all that. But yeah, it was something, And I'm telling y'all, listen, I'm the king of keeping it real, man. I drink measured Kool-Aid only. Alright? And I'm gonna tell you, some of those calls on Anthony Brown was bad, man. I'm keeping it all the real. He said, shame on his coaching staff for pulling Pollard during crunch time for an ineffective Zeke. Oh man, Jesus. Ooh, we start like that. Oh, wow. Yeah, so we go talk about it. All right, let's get into the intro. Here we go. Yeah. Yes. I see panic. Listen, y'all, trust me, don't panic. This is too early to panic. I'm gonna be all the way honest with y'all. This was a great game by the Dallas Cowboys. I love what I saw today. I'm starting early. I'm gonna wait. Till I'm actually all the way in the show. But I really did like what I saw today, even in a loss. We gonna talk about everything. I already know. I'm already queuing up the show with what y'all want to talk about. I already see it. We gonna talk about it. We gonna deal with everything just straight out the gate. Cause I already see kind of how the flow of the game went. I can see the direction of the chat, and the chat is showing me. I can already see out the gate exactly what y'all want to talk about. So here we go. And my boy C. Burleson said, last 3 out of 4, boss. Yeah. And I think we good. I think we still good. Somebody put nothing but trash cans. And my boy said, can we trust the kicker to win a tight playoff game? Dude is a problem. Yeah. That's something we can't ignore. We'll talk about that as well. And Steve said, no more excuses. Zeke is not the best option at running back. I'm tired of his tired act. Yeah, we'll talk about Zeke too, man. I'm definitely going to put Zeke in the show, and we going to talk about it because Pollard got a lot of usage today. Pollard did. He got a lot of usage. Probably look real good. That kickoff return set it off. It's gonna be a lot of noise this week on Pollard, so I'm prepared for that. We gonna talk about that. I think that's a fair conversation. We gonna definitely take that. We gonna take that. We gonna get on the phones. We gonna talk about this, man. We gonna all come together. We'll have us a discussion today about this Thanksgiving. Also, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Jesus, yeah, man. Happy Thanksgiving.
Me and my clique, we don't fall out. Me and my chick, we don't fall out.
Dwayne say 14 penalties for 146 yards. Wow, yeah.
Then we hit licks till it's all out.
We got it handed to us today.
I'm a recruiter, a high percent of shooters, gotta keep rifles and Rugers.
Yeah, and then Quincy said no panic. Why did we rotate left guard and right tackle throughout the game? Yeah, I saw. We'll talk about that. So y'all listen. Y'all go run the show today, obviously. Y'all go run the show. So we gonna talk about that too. So I'm loading up the whole show. Oh, we got the OC in the house. Oh man, it's going down. OC, what's up, man?
What's the word about Cowboy? The Cowboys lose.
Me and my hitters go all out.
Oh, no. I'm with you, James. James said it's just a hiccup, bro. That's exactly how I feel. Not tripping, but
Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. Some gastro internal issues, man. You gonna hit them. Both Cowboys scored. Y'all get in the building. Like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to comment and turn on your bell notification icon for the latest and greatest in Cowboy sports and news. Go ahead and kindly hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Boss Cowboy, the Cowboys lose to the Raiders at home in a thriller, a sloppy thriller, I will say, a sloppy thriller, but a thriller nonetheless. A 33-36. What say you?
I mean, great game. The first thing that obviously people gonna want to talk about is Anthony Brown, because he was clearly targeted today. You could tell they made it a focus to target him. And before I get into this, I want to just keep it all the way real with everybody. Here we go. It's a big thing for Boss Cowboy to actually say publicly that he drunk Kool-Aid. Listen, I do not drink Kool-Aid without first measuring. So before we get out the knives for Anthony Brown, I want to be honest, as a guy who played corner, most of those calls on him were bad. Okay?
Yeah.
Most of those, and especially the one that hit him in the head. Because no, you didn't turn around for the ball, but he did not have any contact with that receiver. The ball hit him in the head. Bad call, y'all. Just being honest. Go ahead, OC.
No, I was just going to say that first call for sure set them up for a touchdown. That wasn't a PI. Him and the wide receiver was hand wrestling. They gave him a call. I think that this was one of those games that the officials really wanted to be popular and get themselves involved in the game by calling really some ticky-tacky stuff, on both sides of the ball. But that last play that you mentioned, Boss Cowboy, I see it as they're going to give that call 99% of the time if you don't turn around and try to locate the football. That's kind of how the rule is written. Yeah, he didn't touch him, but, man, he's in his chest. He didn't turn around and attempt to locate the football, so they flagged him. So, Anthony Brown was a liability today, man. And, look, I know that, we say what we say, and I'm not saying that Anthony Brown is garbage now. I'm saying he was a liability today, and they definitely picked on him all game long, man, all game long.
Yeah, and I do got some good news for everybody. We got the call lines back open. So let's go ahead and let me just make sure I got the settings right. Give me 1 second. Yep, settings still good. Yeah, give me 1 second. All right, so let's take a call real quick, OC, and then we go kind of go in the direction as the people want to go. So we got the call lines open. It's 941-942-2100. 941-942-2100. And I'll just be waiting on y'all call. But I'm getting a lot of stuff. I'm seeing AB has been a liability, bruh. That came from Derek.
Mm-hmm.
And the call line is 941-942-2100. 941-942-2100. But I'm gonna be honest, man. I felt like I don't think Anthony Brown is quite the liability anymore. And I would be the first to tell you. I'll be the first to tell you. I think this was a very poorly officiated game, and especially on the first PI that moved them downfield. Because
Yeah.
how do you stop a guy from pushing off?
Right, right. That was a bad call, straight up. Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, man, I mean, every game, man, we see games in one scene, but there's an entire season, right? And that's the whole movie. So we try to analyze the game in perspective of the whole movie. Go ahead, boss.
Yes, this is Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matter.
Hey, what's up, boss? This is Matt, South
What's up?
Florida.
What's up, man? What you got, big brother?
Yeah, I was calling today because, I don't know, to me, it feels like Kellen Moore finds any excuse to throw the ball a lot and not try to focus on the run game.
Yeah.
But I don't think this game, the last game, when you're out your top receivers, and even last game when you're out your top receivers, your offensive line is questionable. To him, it's like throw, 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 throw. And then we come out the game like, oh, why didn't we run the ball more? And he does this every single game. He tries to find any particular reason to start throwing it all over the field when we have two good running backs, one receiver, and our offensive line is just getting back healthy, and he chooses to just constantly keep throwing all the time.
No, okay, we'll talk about that. We go change the topic to Kellen Moore and his tendency to throw the ball. Thank you for your call, man. Happy Thanksgiving. Your voice matter.
You too. Enjoy.
All right, man. OC, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, man. I think that here's the deal, man. I think that Kellen Moore throwing the ball a lot, he looks better if Dak is more accurate with some passes. Dak played better today, but man, I still don't think Dak really played all that well overall. I know we're missing some key pieces. We're missing CeeDee Lamb. We're missing Amari Cooper. Man, that's detrimental. I think that they should have went to Gallup more, right? We still have too many drops, right? And to be honest with you, offensively, I thought that that Kellen did fairly well, especially in the first half with the mixing up and the usage of Tony Pollard. We went back to Ezekiel Elliott when honestly we should have stayed with Pollard more in that second half, Boss Cowboy. We really should have. Pollard should have got more touches in that second half because he was getting it done versus that defense and hitting seams and being more elusive and faster in space. So, I don't know if we threw the ball too much this particular game. I just think that, man, the execution of some of the plays, including Dak Prescott and the receivers, man, being able to get open, man, is a contributing factor. That's my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, Pollard made a case today to stick with him, especially with Zeke nursing a bad knee, because I do believe there's a definitely usage for Zeke in the physicality of his running style. But he's not at 100%, and your other guy is, and in rhythm, you kind of stick with that.
Yeah, man.
You kind of stick with that. So, now when Zeke healthy and he can do all his jump cuts and all that kind of stuff, the power running, moving the power, all the things that make him uniquely effective, yes, of course, you want to continue the two-headed monster. But if one of your heads is halfway cut off, not physically able, then you got to me, change that up, OC. So, and I do agree that Kellen Moore has a tendency to get pass happy if unchecked. I do agree with that. But I also believe that we have a coaching staff that does rein him in. They make an emphasis to talk about that every time. When they talk about Kellen Moore, you hear them talk about, well, we should have ran the ball more. They talk about it a lot. So we have a coaching staff that does not have a problem with airing out the offenses of people that they want to correct. So this game, I haven't looked at any stats, but this game, in my opinion, had a balanced look. So I haven't checked the stats, but it did have, in my opinion, a very good look of trying to be balanced in their attack of the defense. That's my opinion. With no stats, just eyeball tests.
Agreed.
But I clarify that as we kind of look at it more. We going to take another call, OC?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, so we're going to take another call, man. Here we go. Boss Cowboy Sports, your voice matter.
What's going on, man? It's Keystone.
What's up, man? I can tell you hot. Talk your talk, Keith. Talk it.
Man, I'm hot as a tea kettle whistling right now, man.
What's up, bro?
I can't believe this, man. I can't believe this. I said to myself, Dan Quinn, I'm going to ask you something. How is Sam Hill, you allow Anthony Brown to keep guarding Deshaun Jackson when he's destroying him? I cannot believe that. Like, why wasn't no justice made on that? People can sit here and say that Deshaun this and Sean that, oh no, like that. He was looking like this easy against us that game. 3 catches for over 100 yards and a touchdown. Man, we deserve to lose that game.
Keystone.
Man, this is man. What's up?
Let me ask you a question. What's the answer? What do we do? I'm for real too. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. What do we do about Anthony Brown? What do we do?
We didn't adjust. We should have took him out of the game.
So hold on. It's getting good now. Oh, it's getting good. It's getting good. So are you saying start Nashawn Wright?
I couldn't hear what you said.
I said, are you saying start Nashawn Wright? Am I hearing you right?
It's Kevin Jones. I'm not Kevin Jones that got kicked out of the game, but something's going to have to be made when we going against New Orleans. I mean, I want to see both men get some reps. It's time to see what he can bring to the table, man.
Interesting.
But Deshaun right there, I don't know, but the way everybody out there, everybody's playing over him right now. I don't care who it is.
Ooh. What else did you take away from the game, bro? What else did you take away from the game? I said, what else did you take away from the game? Yeah.
We set a franchise record. What was that, like 14 or 17 penalties for like 172 yards?
Yes.
That ain't good. That's college wide receiver numbers.
Yeah, man. Well, so we go take both of your points right now. What do we do about Anthony Brown and the penalties? And appreciate it, man. Listen, tell everybody where they can find you too, Keystone.
Yeah, you have to find me at Keystone Cowboy on Twitter. I'll be on Facebook too at Cowboys Huddle, and I'll be on Cowboys on the Clock.
Man, and listen, y'all really do follow him because we getting ready to get into his primetime season, which is draft time. So he's already been doing a mountain of work. So y'all keep y'all eye out for Keystone. He got the sleeper files, and we gonna be having a lot of discussions. Thank you, bro. Happy Thanksgiving, man, and your voice matter, bro. You know that. Later, G. Yeah. So. Now, it's overwhelming. I'm looking at the chat, OC. It's overwhelming. Cut Brown. Get Brown out of here.
Well, let me double down on my point, man. Brown was a liability today, you know, and he hadn't been a liability in previous games. In fairness to him, right? But in this particular game, all of the big plays, man. Well, I'm sorry, not all of them. Let me say, about 90% of the big plays was him versus Jones, right? So, or him versus
Jackson.
Sean Jackson, right? So, if that's the case, you got to have a change of pace. as a defensive coordinator. And to me, this does not say Deshaun Wright. To me, if they go put the fastest, most elusive wide receiver on that side of the field, to me, this says that you need to go ahead and work in boss man fast. That's what this says to me. You need to start to look at this young, fast, athletic guy and let this guy develop. Because at the end of the day, look, man, you're letting Connor McGovern develop. He played most of the game at left guard. If you notice that. Notice Connor Williams started the game, then he was out of the game, and Connor McGovern was in the game. Same thing with Lyle Collins. He started at right tackle, and still after that finished at right tackle with most of the staff. So you need to paint this forward and give this young man an opportunity to show what he can do. But beyond Brown, man, and let me just balance everybody out. This was sloppy by the Cowboys, man. This was missing tackles. This was not stepping up in the B and C gap and letting a running back squirt through untouched. It's fundamental football, and I don't want to hear nothing about the twos. I don't want to hear nothing about that. All these guys are professionals, and they're highly paid athletes, man. Highly paid. So you got to be able to play fundamentals. I'm not talking about having a talent, but some of the mistakes they made versus the run game, this stuff is fundamental football, boss Cowboy. And that's the thing that really irks me the most about this loss.
Yeah. And see, I mean, a lot of people, y'all might not feel me on this, but I think this was a good game by us overall. I think this is a good game. Obviously, I wanted us to win. Obviously, we came very close to win. But we got a lot of reinforcements that's getting ready to come back in the droves. So Cooper getting ready to come back. We're getting ready to get Randy Gregory back. We're getting ready to get Tank back. Probably in the 2 weeks, we're going to have Neville Gallimore back. Then we're going to have CeeDee Lamb back. Like, this was a pretty good game for a lot of B-team players. So I am encouraged because I saw a good fight, and I'm not going to say cut Brown. I'm not saying that yet. I'm saying right now, I'm going to go with what you said, which I really feel. Yeah, rotate in, rotate in boss man. This is the time to do that. Even Deshaun Wright. This is the time to work in some of the younger guys and start getting some looks at them. Now, I want to turn the corner and talk about some of the musical chairs that was going on today. Because you're right. They started the game with Steele. In the second series, they went to Lael Collins.
Oh, that's right.
And then from the third series on, they stayed with Steele. What does that say and what's going on, you think?
Oh, man, it says everything that we've been saying. It's been saying that they trust Steele to play the right tackle position and to hold it down. Also, it says that you got to look at everything because this is kind of like a full picture deal. This is not just about the right tackle position. This is about the line and the salary cap of the offseason, not to skip ahead to this stuff, but most people are not thinking about this. Look, I said this weeks ago, Boss Cowboy, that Collins, after this year, most of the big money kicks in for his contract. About 30-some-odd million is due on that 5-year extension after this season, right? So if the Cowboys did not keep Collins, I'm not saying they cut him. I don't think they cut him, at least at this point. But if they didn't keep him, they go save significant money against the cap. But it's saying more so to me that we're done with Connor Williams because we're starting Connor McGovern. We let him develop, man. We ride with this guy because we're not re-signing Connor Williams. And we're thinking about what to do with Lyle Collins and potentially the move to guard. But it's also saying that, hey, man, we trust Terrence Steele to come in and get the job done. Now, he definitely played way better at right tackle. He did give up some pressures so that I saw, probably about 3 that I saw. Good pressures. But, again, I mean, much better at right tackle than he was at left tackle. What do you think, Boss Cowboy?
Well, first let me take this super chat. We got a $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. Happy Thanksgiving. He said it's simple, poor execution on offense with bad blocking up front and no push in the run game. Defense missed too many tackles and that bad PI calls at the wrong time on all their downfield throws. Ooh, well, great analysis, brother. He said Dak missed throws and wide receivers drops. That's his analysis on why we lost. I think that's a good one. I think that's a real good super chat.
Yep.
And a good analysis of, to me, how I saw the game, pretty much how you saw the game. But going back to what just happened with Steele and Lael, right? Because there was a lot of talk. Because remember, he came out and he said, the media asked him, will you be starting last week? And he said yes. Well, a whole lot of people closed the book. They was like, oh, there it is. He's going to be the starting right tackle. No more talk about it. No more conversation. But then he played more right tackle. And the more you saw him play right tackle, I'm going to be all the way honest, the more that it was obvious that he has not played yet up to the level of Steele this year. I'm not talking about 2019 Lael. I'm talking about 2021. And he has not played one game on the level at all of Steele. And I'm saying Lael has not. So when you look at the film, don't listen to the media. Yep. If you look at the film, we've been telling you this because we've been showing you the film. And the film has been consistently saying Steele was the better right tackle this whole time. So
yes,
it's why, honestly, man, you should trust us. Because, see, we were standing alone on that. Like, we were standing, like, by ourselves on that. But at the same time, they also got one more move to make. To be all the way honest, it's already obvious y'all have made up y'all mind who the best right tackle is right now. You showed it this game. You showed it. So you got one more move to make, in my opinion, OC, and I want to get your thoughts. You got one more easy move to make, and you're done. All you got to do is shuffle Lael to the left guard, and you're done.
Yeah, man. Well, you know, here's some points, man, and I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna retract a little bit of my confidence. Okay, about 20% of it, not a bunch of it, but about 20%. Here's the deal, man. Based upon the strength level that Collins has played with, I think they're going to give Connor McGovern a good look at this left guard. And if he can play well, and he didn't get a bunch of push, but they also ran a lot of games. So let me say that too. To people that watch the game, they ran a lot of stunts and twists. And when you run a lot of stunts and twists, if those things are not passed off quickly, then, man, the pocket looks a little sloppy. You're blocking a guy, but it doesn't look clean and pretty. Even in the run game, running some stunts and twists, you can get on a block and block a guy, but you're not going to be able to really just drive guys off the ball if when you step off the block, people are slanting and moving and twisting. It just doesn't work that way. It's too much. It's a lot of mumbo jumbo in the mix. So I think this Boss Cowboy, I think they're going to really give Connor McGovern a strong look. And if he can show improvement, that he stays there, and they're going to figure out what to do with Collins later. That's what I think. Now, if he struggles at all, Boss Cowboy, they're going to put Collins to that left guard. That's from what I'm seeing, and the tea leaves that I'm seeing, and what they're doing on this field, that's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, because we see, if somebody asks, what film do we have to have this wild assessment? Well, I'm glad you asked.
Very glad.
Because you're not going to find no other YouTubers nowhere with a full breakdown and a full comparison on Steele versus Lael. You're not going to find one person. So you're going to hear a lot of opinions, but all you got to do is go to Boss Cowboy Sports. That's all you got to do. Go to Boss Cowboy Sports, okay? And when you go to Boss Cowboy Sports, the first thing you do is like and subscribe. That's the first thing you need to do. Then go look for this thumbnail. And when you see this, it's a full comparison of both of those guys in the run game as well as the pass game. Okay, so this one is the pass game, right? The other one is the run game, and you can see it for yourself. You ain't got to believe us. You can go see it for yourself because we already did the work. Because I want to write something that I know is true. You can lead a horse to film, but you can't make him watch.
We've experienced that, Boss Cowboy, personally.
Yeah. Do I need to say that again? Do I need to say that again? You can lead a horse to film, but you can't make him watch.
And
So,
go ahead.
So horses, for those who have questions, we've been telling you about the film. The film has been preaching this. Bro, we can turn this on all day and show you that the superior run blocker as well as pass blocker has been consistently still. And before I do this, let me do my boy Justice real quick.
The OC.
The film breakdown.
All right. You know, a lot of our contemporaries have stated that, Collins is going to be the best player at right tackle. He's a starter. He's played well. He's better than Steele. Well, the eye in the sky don't lie, and we see Terrence Steele finishing the guy on this very play. You see him laying on top of that guy at the bottom of the screen, and then he's throwing his hands out like he didn't do anything after he just physically assaulted the guy. Let's look at him on this play. All right, see the arrow point. Look at that. That's a great drive block, combo block. He's pushing this guy almost into the end zone. They run right behind him. That is a touchdown. That's a very, very effective drive block. Here he is against Bosa. Okay, this is a Pro Bowl defensive end, and he's playing again, stepping out. He's driving him. Bosa's falling down.
Throws him in the bushes.
Yeah, there you go. You see Pollard out of the gate. And you'll see him again on this particular play. And he has a guy lined up right over top of him. He's driving this guy, driving him. Good feet, too. Wait not to get knocked off balance. And he finishes that guy on top of the pile. That's an excellent drive block. That will be considered a plus. Now, as we continue to see him deuce down block, again, he's finishing guys down on the ground. His man is on the ground. He's falling on top of him. This is him against the New England Patriots. All right, and this is where, he's knocking his 23 out of there. I mean, that little safety had no reason to be down in the box against him, but nevertheless, here he is against 91, and I believe this is Judon, and he pancakes him. He pancakes this guy so hard that he knocks down Tony Pollard. He pancakes this guy into the back of the legs of the running back. I mean, that's just absurd, and so, he's doing things like this. He's doing things like that. So, whoever the contemporaries, and, and I respect all people and our counterparts to say, various things, it's gonna be impossible for you to put on film and show film and talk about this and then put it side by side and say, hey, Collins has played better at right tackle than Steele has. That's gonna be impossible for you because the film just does not justify it.
Right. So that's why I say, now we had a question with a super chat. Somebody asked both of us with a super chat. Let me go back to it. Let me go back to it because I want to respect all of these. He said, real quick, he said, OC, do you think Le'el would get reps at left guard now since Steele has solidified right tackle?
I think that he's already probably been getting reps in practice. I just think it's an element of how well they think he's going to play in the game versus the young, injury-free Connor McGovern. I think they've worked him at both. And I think that Jerry Jones, if you listen to his interviews that he does on Thursdays, I think that he's alluded to the fact that he had a vision of seeing Steele and Collins on the field at the same time. So I think he's already starting to get some reps in practice. I just think we haven't seen it in a game yet. That's my opinion.
Right. Now, let's take another call.
Yep.
So we got the call lines up. Oh, here we go. They called that quick. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Boss Cowboy Sports, your voice matter.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? My name is Rich. I listen to you guys all the time, but I don't really call in. But this time I got to do it, man. I got to do it. I hear people saying that we should run the ball. How many times do we have to see Zeke get 1 yard to no gain? 1 yard to no gain. To me, the offense gets no flow when we're 1 yard to no gain all the time. My wife watches the game with me, and she's not even a football person. And she sits there and says, why do we keep handing the ball off to Zeke? Only to punt the ball 3 and out. Dak doesn't get into a rhythm. Our offense doesn't get into a rhythm. Then we have to, late in the half or the second half, go no huddle. Then you start seeing the offense pick up. I'm tired of that. I would love to see what we did when we went no huddle first week against Tampa Bay. Let Zach throw the ball a little bit more. I'm not saying get away from the run, but our offense gets too stagnant when it's hand the ball off to Zeke and it's 1 yard, no gain, 1 yard, no gain. That's all I got to say, fellas.
Good call. What's your name again, bro?
My name is Rich.
Rich, where you from?
I'm from Arkansas, but I live in Phoenix, Arizona.
Rich, man, great call. Your voice matter. We gonna definitely talk about that.
Appreciate that.
Ain't no problem, Rich. All right, great call. Ooh, he came with that fire OC. I'm not gonna take that first.
Oh, you said what?
I'm not taking that first. No.
Yeah. I'll take it first, man. What I alluded to earlier is that they should have had Pollard more in this football game. Because the upbeat east to west run style, think about Kellen Moore in Boise State. If you a college football fan and you watch Boise State, it's a very up-tempo, vertical east-west, quick-hitting type run offense, which really, that type of offense is really best suited for a Tony Pollard skill set versus an Ezekiel Elliott skill set, okay? When Ezekiel Elliott was drafted, before the Cowboys, we were primarily a pro-style, power-running football team. With Kellen Moore being the offensive coordinator, that is not our style of football. We are more so of a West Coast / spread type offense that has the ability to run the football. So based upon concept and speed to the edge, a lot of the schemes that Kellen Moore comes up with that he really likes to run, it favors a Tony Pollard type skill set versus a Zeke skill set. Although Zeke can do it all, but he just doesn't have the speed and explosiveness to the edge that Tony Pollard does. And I think that's the difference in what you're seeing. So I think you got to be really wise with how you use both these guys. Obviously, I don't think that Zeke is 100%, but even at 100%, I think you got to be honest, man, and use the two-headed monster approach. Get ahead in the game, make big plays in the game, and let Zeke finish off games, man. That's what I see him playing a more progressive role, especially if Pollard continues to emerge by performance, False Cowboy.
Say, and then I got to address this. My boy Adam say, can you give the Raiders respect, please? I get one curse word per show. Hell no. I ain't got no respect for no Raiders. None. I don't have no respect. All right? So you're not going to hear me praising the Raiders for no W. I'm just tell you that right now. All right? So that's just where I stand on that. All right. So anyway, we're going to take another call real quick, OC. Boss Cowboy Sports, your voice matter.
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, what's up? Who's this?
This Callie.
Kavi, how you doing? Turn us down in the back because it's going to be an echo.
Okay. All right.
All right.
I just want to ask a question. What do you think about Bossman Fat? I'm saying, is he not good enough to start, or is just he's not catching up to speed, or he's not up to speed yet?
Good question. Let me take that question and we go address that in front of everybody. Appreciate that.
Okay.
All right. So he asks, what about Boss Man Fat? Well, my boy, real quick, he say, cry baby. Yeah, call it what you want, man. I'm just, listen, if you want us to just show you a whole lot of love for that W against our B team, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Just get over it. You won. That's the only thing you can get out of us. You got a W. Okay, move on. All right. Now, but you can subscribe to the channel though. You can't have no problems with that. But at the same time, you're not gonna hear us kiss your butt. It's not gonna happen. Get over it. All right. But to answer that question about Nashawn Wright, I mean not Nashawn Wright, Boss Man Fat. See, what happened is when he started coming back from his injury, Anthony Brown started having an upsurge in his play. That's honestly what happened. And he started playing to the point to where the crowd started to lose their appetite to see him replace Anthony Brown, him being in Boss Man. But obviously, when you win the crowd, you got to continue to win your freedom. So when you attack the way that Anthony Brown was attacked today with the bad track record that he has, it's a lot of people that's going to have a short appetite for his cornerback play, because really, can we blame him, OC? Because we've seen years and years of bad play from Anthony Brown. So some people are not ready to just let that go over 5 good games. So I agree with the OC who said earlier that I think they should start rotating in Boss Man, because at this point you're trying to prepare these guys for the playoffs.
Yeah, boss. And and here's the thing, man. The fastest way for Boss Man Fat to get on the field, it really is up to him. Now, what he has to do with superior athletic ability, superior upside and speed, is just look at Anthony Brown, okay? And you go feel on this, boss. He got to look at what Anthony Brown has done, and he needs to mimic what Anthony Brown has done. He needs to show up early. He needs to leave late. He needs to make plays in practice and get up and be excited and clap his hands and shout and pat everybody on the head. All he got to do is play a little bit of politics. That's all Boss Man Fat got to do. Play a little bit of politics. We love this young kid. We love his attitude. I mean, he's just done a 180. His enthusiasm, his passion for the game, how he loves his teammates. He speaks to everyone in the organization. He does his part. That's all Boss Man Fat got to do. If Boss Man Fat do that for 2 weeks, he'd be starting. That's all Boss Man Fat got to do. So it's up to Boss Man Fat to be excited, to be consistent with making plays, but also to understand this. Hear me. He is a professional athlete now. He's a professional athlete. So you got to come in there with this organization, with these men, with your teammates, be a professional, and I believe he's going to get his opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about it, man. I'm going to take another call real quick. I think all of those guys going to be all right. Boss Man as well as Anthony Brown. I really do. I think I'm not going to panic. He gave me 5 good games, and Deshaun Jackson is not no slouch. All right?
No.
He's not no slouch, bro. That dude's still one of the fastest guys in the league in terms of game speed. So, I mean, we're not going to see Deshaun Jackson every week. We not. Boss Cowboy Sports, your voice matter. Boss Cowboy Sports.
Hello, Boss Cowboy. What's going on, buddy?
What's up with it?
This is your boy, Mr. Passion, calling in to UNOC. I want to spread some love to you guys and give you my thoughts on the game, because I was watching the whole game. That one play that I saw at the very end when we were down near, our defense was down near the end zone, and that Carr threw that pass to Zay Jones. If you paid attention to the replay, the receiver pulled Brown towards his body as he was trying to turn around and look for the ball and get the ball and bat the ball out, if you were paying attention to that play. And they called a flag, a pass interference on us on that game. So I was kind of disappointed in the refs, but I ain't disappointed in our team. And I will say that people need to remember, like you were saying earlier in the show, because I was watching from the beginning, UNOC, that, we just need to calm down. Remember, we're 7-4, okay? We're going to do big things. Guys are coming back let's just chill. You know, you know, we're fighting. We fought hard. We lost by 2 points, but at the end of the day, we played a good game. Now we did kick ourselves in the butt with penalties and stuff, but Dak fought hard, and I'm proud of that. And that's worthy of a championship team. So all I got to say is go Cowboys. And that Micah Parsons is a beast with 9 sacks. That's all I got to say. He's a game changer. And anybody who says differently, don't pay attention to the Cowboys, and don't pay attention to film, and don't pay attention to the love of the Cowboys and what they do for this, for our team, for us, as fans.
Oh, man, great call, man. Thank you so much, man. Your voice always matter, brother.
God bless, man. I love you guys.
All right, man. Love you too, bro. All right, listen. Florida boy, a Raiders fan. I agree with you. Look what he said. Bad flags were both ways. Exactly, bro. That's why I don't really want to spend a bunch of time on flags. It was a bad officiated game. I would rather say the Raiders beat us than to blame refs, to be honest. And it was bad calls, but he's right. It was bad calls on both sides, man. It was a poorly officiated game.
Yeah, man, and you know, I want to jump on what my man said, which he started to get into my thunder. Yeah, I wanted to pivot and talk about what I thought was almost a game-winning sack. When Michael Parsons got that sack before that PI penalty from Brown, 2 consecutive plays in the backfield, right? Stop the run play, slices inside, covers 2 gaps, slices inside, then lines up on the right tackle, beats the right tackle like a drunk. Like an African drum, right? Facts, car, you know what I'm saying? In the right time, in the right moment, in the right place. And really, to be honest with you, most of any pressures we got on Carr, about 6 or 7 of those pressures came from Micah Parsons. That's my guy, man. That's my dude, man. That's my dude. Hey, 9 sacks on the year. Double-digit sack with that guy for sure, you know, barring an injury or something like that. This guy will have over 100 tackles and more than 10 sacks. His rookie year, Cowboy. This guy will end up having over 100 tackles and over 10 sacks, man.
Listen up, man. In my opinion, bro, that's crazy what you just said. Listen, I'm going to ask you this question, and we're going to take a couple of more calls. In your opinion, has Parsons really opened the door as a full-time pass rusher? Because here, look at him. He is truly a super game changer when you send him through the A-gap, right? Like they was doing today periodically. But they was mostly sending him off the edge, OC.
Yeah. When they send him through the A-gap, he got held, right? It was illegal hands to the face. The guy couldn't. The guy was ripping off his helmet, and Michael Parsons was still coming, about to get by the dude. Leatherwood was like, "Crap, what can I do?" And that's the Alabama first-round draft pick, man, that the Raiders picked a couple years ago, who they bumped in to play right guard, as a matter of fact. And Alex Leatherwood was holding the mess out of him, holding him like he loved him. So I'm telling you. So, look, man, yeah, I mean, he can be a full-time pass rusher, but the key is that you want to have him in a position where he's disruptive. And to be honest, man, we're kind of light at the linebacker perspective right now, and we're not getting great play out of the Enderesh, man. He's just, you know, he's holding on. He makes a play here and there, but he's not like the all-star, all-pro guy that's going to run downhill and fill holes and make a bunch of tackles in the backfield and even make a bunch of tackles that are like 2 or 3 yard gains. He's holding on the dudes 5 yards down the field. That type of deal. So at the end of the day, man, you got to put him where you need him. And right now, because we don't have any pass rush help, no true pass rush help, you got to rush him right now until we get D-Law and until we get Gregory back, man. He got to play down there. He got to play down there, bro, or we ain't getting no pass rush.
I want to take this comment because I do think you got a good point. I've been watching the chat, brother. You don't think nobody's seeing you, but I see you, and you made a good case. His name is Murderologist PSN, and he said Parsons did all that on the way to our defense, giving up 500 yards of offense. What's your thoughts on us giving up 500 yards of offense?
Man, I just think that 500 yards of offense is also included with the penalties. The penalties were chunk yards that moved the ball 30 and 40 yards down the field. I think that, run gap integrity is an issue with the Cowboys, and we got issues at linebacker, man. Our linebackers are really not playing that well in light of the run game, man. And until we get more stout from the defensive line perspective and making plays, I think that we got to play great from the defensive line perspective, because right now we don't have the depth at linebacker or the experience to really hold up on the back end. And so that's why you saw all the offensive plays and things like that. But I think a lot of that was penalties, and then some of them were just big plays. Derek Carr, he hung in there, man. He threw the ball around pretty well. He did what he had to do, man, to get the dub, man. He threw for more than 300 yards. So that alone, to get your 500 yards with all the penalties and then the success they had rushing the football.
Right. And that 500 yards, listen, I'm not looking at no stats. This is all I test. It doesn't feel like a real 500. I felt like those flags pushed him downfield. I'm not using that as an excuse, but the chains was moved a lot from flags, man, especially on third down, bro. It was a lot of times we could have got off the field and drives was kept alive due to penalties, So it wasn't, to me, a 500 yards, in my opinion, that was just based on execution of their offense and skill set. It was a combination of both, because I think their slot receiver, he played well. And I think the running back, Jacobs, he played well. I got to give all those guys props. I think they did their things, but I don't see it as a earned 500. Am I tripping on that before we take another call?
No, man, like I said, man, we had huge PI penalties. The first PI penalty moved the ball at least 30 to 40 yards. The PI penalty at the end of the game moved the ball down the field at least about 30 to 40 yards again. So that's 70 to 80 yards with just 2 PI penalties. And there were more PI penalties than that. And then we got a bull crap roughing the passer on incidental contact when Micah Parsons tried to pull off of Derek Carr and incidentally ran into it. And just because Carr acted like he was hurting and rolled around, they called it Parsons.
Yeah, so that was so whack.
That's a 15-yard penalty right there. Okay? So if you look at that, I just came up with roughly 100 yards worth of penalties. So if you take away those penalties, and there were a couple more bullcrap penalties in my opinion, but if you take away those penalties, now the Raiders have 400 yards of total offense, right? And I could subtract from that if I just kept going down the penalties that we're given. So there you go.
Right. And it's one of those things to where I just don't. Now, I also got to give him credit. Hunter Renfrow had a great game, because he's on my fantasy team. He don't turn up like that all the time. Now, he's elusive. He's quick. He got some great agility and burst out his breaks. He does. But he's not. Now, he played above himself today. I got to give them credit for how he played, especially after losing Darren. When they lost Waller, that should have been pretty much it, right? Because we know he's the engine that drives them for the most part. And then, obviously, Josh Jacobs has some tough runs. So we're not going to take away from their win, because some guys had to step up for them. And they scored on average way more than they have historically this year. So, yeah, they played good. I'm not going to take away from the Raiders' play, because they had to be gritty to come win this game on Thanksgiving in Dallas, and they did. But I'm just saying, I don't see that 500 yards without the assistance of some of those penalties. I don't. And because the penalties move the chains. So we're gonna take a couple of more calls real quick to just get thoughts on this game. Here we go. So we got the call line open. It's 941-942-2100. 941-942-2100. So yeah. So, and I was impressed with Dak. I didn't even hold on real quick. We got a call already. Here we go. Boss Cowboy Sports, your voice matter.
What up, boss? It's Montana.
Oh, Montana, what's up, man?
Can't call it, man. Hey, man. I see a lot of people trying to, choke slam Zeke. Hey man, the dude is playing with a bum knee, bro. You can't have your full burst when your lower extremities is beat up, man. It's just so hard to do.
Facts.
Kellen Moore, man, he got to step it up, bro. I've been saying it all season, man. He's young, man, and he's new to the play calling thing. He have to step it up. Like if he can't step it up, McCarthy has to help him. McCarthy has to help this man.
Yeah.
You're putting Dak and those guys in bad positions to be successful, man, and you're calling readable plays when it's crunch time. Yeah, Anthony Brown, he had a bad game, but man, come on, y'all, man. Let's keep it real. The refs was out on him, man. Once they got that first one, the players went over there and cried to the refs, man, was like, hey, watch number 30. Their eyes was on him all game, man. So, I'm not really too mad at Ant Brown, but Dan Quinn still had to put those boys in better position to be successful. This one here is on all three of the coaches' head, man.
Yeah.
This not really too much on the players. They executed to the best of their ability, but still, man, coaches, man, you got to put these guys in a best position to be successful when you don't have your day one guys, man. So I mean, that's all I got, man. I just want Cowboy Nation to know, like, hey, man, like if it continues to be like this, even with our guys, then this is not a Super Bowl team. But until then, the team we saw today is not a Super Bowl team. When we get our guys back, that is a Super Bowl team.
Right.
Everybody, everybody just need to chill out, man. Hey, and I'm still saying go Cowboys, and we still
All
them boys.
day. Man, say, bro, hold on, bro. Hold on. And then he just hung up. I'm about to tell him how to do it, bro. Oh man, I think I already. Do I still got the we still the ball? Oh, yep, yeah. So hold on real quick. What did he say? He say we what? Say, man.
I'm still them boys. Oh, I'm still them boys. I'm still them boys.
Man, say, listen.
I'm still
Say,
them boys.
listen.
Yeah. I'm still them boys.
Still them boys.
Call and check on me.
Yep, call and check on me. Y'all think we gonna change over a Thanksgiving L? Man, please. Still them boys.
Them boys.
Yeah. Still them boys. So,
I'm still them boys.
I want to take this one real
Now
quick.
y'all don't want to call and check on the pastor. I'm still them.
I want to take this one real quick. He said Aaron Rodgers loses players all the time and he still wins games. Oh man, I get so sick of this. MG.
Thank you for the comment, first of all, MG, and your voice matters. But here's the thing, man. Aaron Rodgers and Dak Prescott are two different quarterbacks, and they play in two different systems. So I think that you're not comparing apples to apples. I think I get what you're alluding to, the fact that Aaron Rodgers is a great quarterback and Dak Prescott is not a great quarterback. I'm not sure if that's where you're going, but it's a completely different scenario. And no quarterback is at his best if he's throwing to his B team receivers. It's just a fact, because that guy, to explain this to everybody that's watching, he gets very little reps in practice with the B team receivers. 90% of his reps all year has been to the starter. And so when those guys are not playing, he has to get acclimated to the guys that he's not used to throwing the ball to. So it's a bunch of stuff continuity-wise. And then also, if they drop the ball, that's not on the quarterback. So, anyway,
right. Yeah, man, and then I was told he's a troll, so I'm not going to even address it, cause I don't want to talk to people that seriously think that type of stuff. But yeah, I mean,
Not Boss Cowboy. Just so
yeah, I said, oh yeah, he clearly a troll. He talking about 6 years and how many playoff games did Dak win? Okay, yeah, I already see what's up. But welcome, MJ. Welcome to the show. All right, so we gonna take a couple of more calls. Here we go. All right, Boss Cowboy Sports, your voice matter.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
Hey, this Rick from VA, man. I just want to touch on one thing. In the last call, he kind of touched on it, man. That last pass interference call was not on Anthony Brown.
Right.
Although they called it, that was not on Anthony Brown. That's on Dan Quinn, man.
Oh.
Look, why would you put him in that situation?
Wait, hold on. Hey, curveball. You killed me with that one, bro. Let me let you go. Go ahead.
Why would you put that man in that situation or even give the ref a chance to make that call? The field position dictated that we could have played conservative zone, give him 10 yards underneath, and they're going to kick a 60-yard field goal. That's all you had to do, man. I mean, I understand him still trying to want to be aggressive, but it's a time and a place to do it, especially when you got a defender that's struggling like Anthony Brown was today, and a referee crew that's going to call every little thing. You see what I'm saying?
No.
So, man,
excellent case. Keep talking. What else you got?
Well, I mean, really, that's all I wanted to say. We all know that, the referees were terrible in this game, man. But man, it all boiled down to that last play, man. And like I said, like in the beginning of the game, man, I think the play calling offensively was kind of conservative. We just started taking shots down the field until later on in the game, and we started hitting on them. The Raiders do not have great cornerback play at all, nor safety play. You could put any one of those guys in the blender. I understand that we don't have all our guys, but you can put any one of those corners in a blender. Take the shots. The Raiders was taking the shots, and you see what happened. They took the shots. We didn't, But man, that's all I wanted to say, man. This is a frustrating L for us, man. It's simple as that. Like, I mean, bro, like Stevie Wonder could see some of the things that was going on out there. We never got holding calls. I probably saw about 10 holding calls myself that didn't get called to the end of the game on our side. But, I ain't here to make excuses, man. I'm just stating facts, man.
No, I'm with you, bro.
But,
I mean, I never even thought about that Dan Quinn take, but that's a real good one. Because he was being real aggressive. He was manning up, to your point. What's your name again?
My name Rick, man.
Rick. He was manning up a lot. Yeah, let's take this call real quick from Rick, man. We gonna address that real quick, Rick. Thank you, man. Your voice matter.
All right, no doubt. Y'all be safe, man.
All right, thanks for the call, man. Good call.
Yep.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that, OC?
Yeah, man. I mean, great call, Rick. First of all, man, thanks for joining the show. Yeah, man. He was singled over to Anthony Brown, like Anthony Brown was an all-pro corner. So sometimes it's an element of overconfidence, and understanding the scenario and the situation. To Rick's point, he could have played, a deep cover 2 with safety help roll to his side, away that down the field pass. That Derek Carr and the Raiders, they were committed to throwing that deep ball. They showed you all game they were committed to chunking it at you and attacking you deep, right? With the routes at the top of the route tree, the goals and all that stuff. So yeah, man, great call, man. Great call. We got burned, on that, man. And so that was a great point, man. Great point.
Man, great point. Let me call my boy the lunatic real quick. Yeah, he didn't expect me to call. I'm gonna call you right back because it's telling me it's you. Give me 1 second. Let me call the lunatic back real quick.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? the lunatic. This Boss Cowboy Sports. Your voice matter so much that I called you.
Thank you very much, boss. OC, thank you. Listen, I have a question, though. Heartbreaking loss. At least it wasn't as bad as last year. But I have a question. Are we searching for O-line answers this late in the season? Because somebody has to go up to McCarthy and Kellen Moore and say, we need to run the ball. Or what is going on? Are we still looking for O-line answers? And it's a tough loss, but now that makes New Orleans a must-win, in my opinion. But I'll just hang up right now. I hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving with their family. We're still in it. It's still more games left in the season, but we need to find some answers. We need to find out who is our starting offensive line because we need to run the ball. If we don't run the ball, we're in trouble in the playoffs. Thank you, boss. I really appreciate it. OC, hope you have a great one. Bendiciones, Cowboys Nation. Now, let's learn from this one and on to the Saints.
Thank you, the lunatic. Your voice matter. All right, here we go.
Yeah, on this one, man. Look, every game the Cowboys lose, the more confidence that the next team has against the Cowboys. Right? Everybody's going to get up and play their best versus the Cowboys. And the Cowboys coaching staff have to understand that. And so everybody wants to beat the Cowboys, man. It's like, hey, making your day, making your month or your week, right? So at the end of the day, man, I think that we have answers. I think we have the right pieces to be very, very successful, right, in terms of the offensive line. In terms of running the ball, I agree with you in this sense. I think that we had a balanced approach, but I think that if Zeke's not healthy, and even if Zeke is healthy, I'm gonna take it a step further. If Pollard is getting explosive plays, give him more run right now so that we can get up in football games. Okay, I'm right there with it because I'm talking from a coach perspective, not a fan perspective. So if that dude is being productive, give him the football. We got enough hogs up front to run the football effectively, but I think that Kellen Moore can do more of this. And Dak, again, missed some throws, man, and he's, to me, he's been a little off. But Dak works his best off of the play-action run game. So if you can set up hard runs and play-action Dak Prescott, I think that, man, he's going to be much more effective in that type of scenario, in my opinion.
Ooh, man, the chat is going off. To answer the question, they are still reshuffling offensive line. They are, because they did it today, and it shocked a lot of us. OC, how often do you see a rotation of offensive linemen during a game?
It's rare, man. It means that we're trying to please a player and that we're trying to really be certain about what we're doing. So I think that the Cowboys just need to make a decision and put their foot down about whoever they're going to start, and they need to rock with those and, like, come hell or high water, go ahead and stick with those unless a player plays himself out of being a starter. Unless they have bad play and they play themselves out of being a starter. But I just think that they're scared. They're a little timid. It's a little fear. They're timid with a couple of those players. That's what that signifies to me. Because why do you start them and then you yank them? You know what I'm saying? You're timid with a little bit of those players, man. You just got to put your foot down and make a decision.
Yeah, because I do think it's some indecisiveness going on in the front office, especially with right tackle. But I think they put both of those guys out there because it was obviously going to be a matchup challenge at right tackle. I saw it coming a million miles away. I really did, OC. I saw it coming, the matchup problems. And I think the Cowboys saw it coming with Max Crawford and all those guys. They saw it coming. And when they saw it coming, they was like, listen, we got to be prepared to solve this problem. Because both of the guys coming off the edge for the Raiders are good. Okay? Both of the guys. So it was you knew they was going to attack Collins. It just made sense. It was the obvious matchup problem if he wasn't 100% from his hip or still out of shape. So you have two really good defensive ends So we knew this was coming. The fact that they started rotating Steele and Lael in the first two series goes to the Lunatics' points that they're still trying to find the chemistry to go into the playoffs with. That's what I see, OC. I think they still trying to find that chemistry, and I think they trying to bring it all together to what Jerry said 6 weeks ago, where he said he can envision Lael and Steele on the field at the same time.
No doubt, man. Agreed, 2,000%.
Because the last thing I'm going to say, and I want to get your thoughts on this,
all right,
is to the Lunatics' point. We don't have too much time to get this offensive line to jail, so at some point we got to make the moves that we're going to make. If it's going to be McGovern, let it be McGovern at left guard, and let's go into the playoffs with that. If you're going to try this out with Lael, go ahead and put him in there and let him get his left guard kinks out so that we can go into the playoffs strong. I want to get your thoughts on that, OC.
Yeah, so real quick, man, think about this. The Cowboys are what, 7-4, right? So we got a game next week. And then after our game next week, we're going to have, 5-6 more games, right? I believe it'll be 5. So that's 5 weeks to figure out and get continuity. 5 weeks for offensive line to work together, that's plenty of time. So this is kind of a make or break week for a lot of people. This particular game coming up versus the Saints. After this, man, in my opinion, we will want to be consistent and then do what we got to do.
Right. So, yeah, I think that offensive line stuff will work itself out. We're going to take us one more call, so let's get it all in right now. And then unless y'all have anything else, we'll get out of here. But that's the post game on 941-942-2100, 941-942-2100. And before I guess we take this call, I will say, being all the way honest with your OC, I don't feel no panic at all. I mean, the Raiders was injured, we was injured, but we got a lot of people coming back. The amount of people that's coming back is a totally different team than what we have. You know what I mean? Like when you add Tank, Randy Gregory, where you can run the 4-3 under and have 3 pass rushers that are crazy specialists, run stoppers, and all of that coming back. Not including CeeDee Lamb, not including Cooper, not including Gallimore. We got a lot of people returning that are stars. So, yeah.
Yeah, we'll be all right, Boss Cowboy. But, the key is to peak at the right time. So getting these guys back in the next couple of weeks is great because we'll need that game continuity to peak at the right time. And remember, it's not who has the best regular season. It's about the teams that peak fast at the end of the regular season that are playing the best football going into the playoffs. Those are the teams that end up in the Super Bowl.
Right. So I don't see us losing, bro. I mean, I feel like we go pretty much win the next games because we getting ready to get a great resurgence of talent. And with all the guys that's out, I feel okay, man. I'm not. I feel like this is the normal road to a Super Bowl. It's going to be full of adversity. Like Tampa lost some games last year. Tampa was looking like they wasn't going to go last year, but they got hot at the right time. So we also need to get hot at the right time. I'm not doing no crying. I'll let anybody else do that, but I'm not crying over this, man. I'm having me a good old Thanksgiving. Here we go. Boss Cowboy Sports. Boss Cowboy Sports, your voice matter.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, I'm just watching the show and had a quick question for you guys before you got out of here. Seeing that we had some terrible losses, the Broncos, and tonight with the Raiders, if the playoffs were to begin soon, who do you think we can beat in the playoffs with the lineup we have now? Even if we bring Lamb and Cooper back into the mix, who do you think we have the best chance beating with the lineup we have?
I got you. We gonna answer that question. Appreciate it. What's your name?
Yashub.
Yashub?
Yes, sir.
Got you, Yashub. We gonna answer that question. Thank you. Your voice matter. So Yeshua asks, if the playoffs started right now with CD Lamb back, with Cooper back, who do you see us beating?
Yeah, I'm gonna answer that question real quick. Just about anybody, because it's a one game and out tournament. So it's about the best game plan and execution in one game. So I don't see us being weak offensively versus anybody. I think that we're good enough defensively to keep ourselves in game, but we got to execute offensively. So I see us being able to beat anybody with a full offensive roster back.
Yeah, and I see the same thing. I see us definitely being able to beat anybody. When everybody's back, especially, like, yeah, this is a totally different team when you got Randy Gregory here coming off the edge, when you have Tank coming off the edge, when you have, obviously, Gallimore coming from the interior, when you have CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, and Cooper. That's a big difference. That's a real big difference. So some of those conversions that didn't happen today likely are conversions that happen when you have superstars back on your team. So, and I see a lot of you Raiders guys. I know this was y'all Super Bowl. Anytime y'all play Dallas, I do understand that. Whenever y'all play Dallas, this is y'all Super Bowl. But I'm gonna be honest, beating Dallas is not like a real Super Bowl. Okay, I just want to just let y'all know that beating Dallas, I know it feels like a Super Bowl, but it's not. Okay, and one of y'all guys said that it's only one nation, Raider Nation, and I'm cool with that because we actually Cowboys world. We bigger than just a nation. We worldwide. We not just a little itty bitty nation. We like a whole globe. We like a whole planet. So you got to think bigger when you're trying to troll Dallas. You got to think much bigger than a nation. I just want to say that real quick. But what's your final thoughts, OC?
Hey, listen, clean up the victories, man. Clean up and then we'll get to the victories. I think that with a good practice and returning back versus the Saints, it'll be a competitive game, and we'll be having. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Dallas Cowboys Sports on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can follow me, the OC100, on Twitter. And that's all I got, boss.
Yeah, and listen, the sky's not falling. A lot of people go try to make it seem like it's falling. It's not. Listen, it's getting ready to get a lot better. We gonna be fine. Don't listen to the Debbie Downers. They go try to act like, because listen, whenever the Cowboys lose, this is where the media loves to jump on and feel like the sky's falling because they go try to make a bunch of news out of nothing. It is nothing going on. The Dallas Cowboys are okay. We still control our own destiny, and we still got, I guarantee you, a top 7 talented team all day. Top 3 easy in the NFCs. Boss Cowboy Sports, we out.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.